Welcome back to Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm. In this video, we are discussing everything artillery. So that means saturation fire, neutralizing fire, suppression fire, the different types of ammunition, and the basics and more advanced concepts. So hopefully you're more combat effective at the end of this video. And the one thing I really wanted to talk about was the saturation fire because that's one of the more unique things to war games, and I haven't seen it too much in any other war game. So let's just start with on call. On call is just the absolute basic, is just sitting there waiting for your units to either be either issued movement commands or barrage commands. As you see, this O denotes that this unit's on call. So if we were to right click it, we would select on call, and it would just basically move that to just a standby waiting for orders. Now barrage, obviously barrage, there are several different types of barrages. Under barrage, you'll find scatterable mines, also called like FASHMs, improvised cluster munitions. Those are more US forces with their MLRSs. And then you'll have like high explosives, neutralizing, and area saturation. Area saturation is one of those also specific weapon systems that is only to high explosive multiple rocket launch systems. So you cannot area saturate with nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, improvised cluster munitions, or mines. It's just multiple rocket launch systems with high explosive rounds. So there's also a few more unique things to area saturation that we're going to discuss here in a moment. But one thing you'll notice I do in a lot of my videos is just suppression, and I'm starting to think suppression fire is a bit of a mistake because it's a low rate of fire, high explosive that has limited kill power. And I think the way we're using it during our videos is we intend for it to kill, so suppression is not that one. But it does inflict readiness loss to targeted units, so it can have some effects like limiting their mobility, obviously getting that top armor hit and kind of neutralizing things, but overall you're kind of rolling the dice and you're just suppressing the target. The more important one obviously is the neutralizing. That's your high rate of fire, maximizing kill power, and inflicting readiness loss to targeted units. So that's where we're really going for like that elimination or that destruction on the battlefield, trying to get that hostile unit off the battlefield. Its high rate of fire, that's its main goal, is to kind of neutralize that unit. And then we have smoke. If we navigate over to one of these units, an actual self-propelled artillery. I guess none of these units are carrying smoke right now, so I can't really display smoke for you. Unfortunate. But I mean, it's always going to be there because you'll kind of forget to resupply your units, and then you'll be like, oh, I only have smokes left. And then there's scatterable mines. Those seem to be more predominantly on the not the NATO side, the Warsaw Pact side. I haven't researched too much into it, but basically you're just deploying a 1 hex target. So like 500 meters right here will just be a minefield, and I believe they cause more mobility kills than anything else. And then improvised cluster munitions, they just small subunits destroying both soft and hard targets. We use those all the time. Nuclear, chemical. So we've done videos on nuclear and chemical, like how effective they are, which one's more lethal. And then the next one we really want to talk about is counter battery fire. So let's just touch on counter battery fire, and then we're really going to dive into saturation fire. All right, so counter battery fire is your units are set to fire on located enemy artillery units. While on counter battery fire, they will not shoot at other missions. So they're basically just standing by waiting to engage targets as they show up on the map or as you spot them. So you can actually, if we say we wanted to do a barrage and say neutralizing, we would drag this up here and we would select the hexes that we wanted to target. You can target, I believe, a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be their fire order. There's only around 36 rounds, and as you see, it tells us all our barrages, all neutralizing. We'll be out of ammo before we go through all 6 of these. Yeah, see, 30 rounds of 216. So basically, we're gonna get through 4 and 5, and then we're gonna be done. But that would kind of be just a quick demonstration of how you would do neutralizing fire over that area. That's not saturation fire. Saturation fire is far different. Saturation fire is more important. It's more complex. And it is way cooler. So once we delete all of these, we're going to discuss saturation fire. We cannot delete that last order. No. Oh, we just messed up right there. And then saturation fire is really unique. It's predominantly these units right here. let's just read this off. This option is found only with multiple rocket launchers. It allows all the units' rockets to be fired in rapid succession and strike a much larger target zone. If this mission is chosen, you can only select one target point, and the rounds will land in the target hex and the surrounding 6 hexes. This is a devastating attack that can cause severe losses to man and machine. Units firing saturation attack ammo automatically goes to 0 and must resupply before shooting again. So when they're talking about resupply, you generally need to be next to your headquarters units. These are very mobile units. They do have a minimum range of 6,000 meters and a maximum of 14,000. So they're not quite out of the battle space. They're fairly close to the front. You really only have, 6,000 to 8,000 meters to truly work with, which means the headquarter unit is always going to be moving with these two, especially if you're using for saturation fire. So if we were to right click this MRLS and say saturation, we'd come up here to this general objective area and we would say commit. And as you see, oops, close that. It selects that main hex because the hex is a hexagon, 6 sides, and then it selects the following 6 hexes around it. And if we wanted to kind of layer that, we could actually layer this as well. We say barrage, we say area saturation, and we could, I kind of wish it would stay on the map. I could actually turn that on, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to say a bit further down the road, right there. I'm going to say commit. We're going to say close, and then we're going to say all right there. So there's one. We'll just zoom out and we'll just toggle between the two. Basically right on top of each other. And then we're going to watch this kind of perform and see how effective it is against the Soviet units. I think this one might need to be delayed a little bit. So duration 2 minutes, start time. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. Can we say, let's start it at 10:04. 10:06. Apply. Close. And we're actually going to drag it just down one more hex. So one's delayed 2 minutes and the other one's just immediately going to fire. So we might not even get any targets because we don't have any recon units. But there is a force up here. So we're going to hit start. And then there we go. There's a saturation of fire effect. A bit underwhelming. I was kind of hoping, ooh, look at that. And we start just racking up the casualties. We know they're there. This one's going to be a bit shorter. Hopefully they're moving forward and not moving back. Looks like they're scooting. So we did get some significant casualties right there. And then our next one should be firing now. Unfortunate. I don't think we got anything that may... Oh, no. Look at that. So they did push forward through that. 2 enemy hexes destroyed. So that's actually really, really cool. I kind of hope they improve that animation a little bit. It leaves a lot to be desired, especially for what it's doing or how powerful it is. I don't think we'll be able to see... game. If we end this game now, we say okay, 1 star, it brings everything up, and then we can kind of take a look at the damage we did. So if we close that off, we have these units back there. We knew they were back there. Oops, zoom in way out, and it looks like 2 units were able to push forward. So if we bring that menu back up, it's called test, right? Butcher's Bill. They started off with 14 infantry, so we instantly got 5. We wiped off 5 utility vehicles, 10 infantry units, and 1 APC. So for, I don't know, what's that? 500 meters and the surrounding 6 hexes. So basically a couple thousand meters, a good little area saturation. I think that's a pretty good trade-off. I think that really works out for us. So here's the utility vehicle, 1 fallen out, armored personnel carrier, infantry, 2 destroyed, 8 fallen out. And it tells us further down exactly what was destroyed. So overall, a really, really effective weapon system. It's really quick, fires off really quick. So a quick little volley and just saturates an entire area, and it's super effective. I just wanted to show that real quick, discuss saturation fire because I haven't talked about it at all, but hopefully we can do more with it later and maybe see it on a live stream. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check out those live streams, guys. Share the video. It helps.